Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing yet more Factorio. I'm running a bit late. I was listening to the commentary on the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Had a couple of big smashes, so it's running a lot late, and I hadn't realised how late. They've literally just started Quali 2, so I kind of figured I can't be over half an hour late. But I've got to set me, put me straps on for me old man tendon. What should we call it? Carpal tunnel rubbish. Hang on a second. Strap up. Hopefully, I've put no back seating on the YouTube description title because after last week's unpleasantness on the Satisfactory stream of the person who took umbrage to being asked not to back seat, and me not quite knowing what to do with it. And they weren't being directly unpleasant, just a bit of a word I can't really say on the stream. So I thought I'd make it very, very clear on the YouTube, because you can't do the tags. On Twitch you can put on tags saying what it is, and obviously put the no back seating, because for exactly that reason. It's not the actual back seating necessarily, it's the when I ignore them or tell them to go away, they get very upset. Yeah, that's to prove the point. So I'm now going to have to use up a load of my, because you only get a limited length on the title. Okay, so I have been very, very busy with this save. I'm really enjoying it. I might do a video on it or something on YouTube, but it's very difficult to explain. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't prefer just playing normal vanilla Factorio compared to Space Age. But I also don't feel I've really properly... I think I got a bit sort of overwhelmed on Factorio altogether last year, and in particular, and so I don't know that I've given. Feels like I need a bit of space before I go back to Space Age, is what I'm saying. I'd quite like to maybe add elevated rail and quality to this, and sort of learn those systems as well as, you know, how I want to use them. Maybe make some rail blueprints with elevated rails in and stuff like that. But yeah, for now I am loving just playing normal Factorio, and as you can see, expanding away like you wouldn't believe. I put in loads and loads there. I mean, part of the point of this was to kind of stress test my systems, my blueprints, but also parameterization, and learn that, and then if I can work out how to do it like a generic pickup system with prioritizing, and like see how clever I can get before my brain melts. And as such, I wanted to have a lot of trains in this save, and we now have a lot. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't regard it as a lot, but we have over 100 trains. We've got 116 trains, and the reason for that is I've kind of balanced all up. So we have, for example, 13 drop-off stations for copper ore. They're not doing a lot because the base is effectively kind of paused, which is what we need to get it to start doing, basically. Start doing stuff. So 13 drop-off stations for copper, and we have 13 trains in the copper system. So they're kind of perfectly matched in terms of stops and number of trains. There are some exceptions to that, obviously, like sulfur or something where it's very low occasional use. At the moment, when we get blue on the go, we might have more to do with that. But yeah, and for example, I think I did this week. So this is how busy I've been. I put in some builds for making modules, for example. So we now have 2 of these builds for speed and productivity, and then one for efficiency as well. This is set much lower. It's only like 100. It's inactive because there are 100 knocking about from previous building. But yes, so we've got a load of modules. I think there's a 500 or something of each just set and waiting to go. I haven't upgraded everything, but I have been going around putting in module beacon builds. I have not quite finished it technically because we need low density structures and solar panels, but otherwise this is done. The military side of things, we even have military science. I've put that in as well, so I've been a super busy boy, and I say absolutely loving it. So I've done a lot, but we still have a lot to do. I built this military to be 2,400 basically, so I don't think it's exact, but it's not far off 2,400 science per minute. So old school megabase type numbers, which is what we're kind of going to go for. Now, whether I do double that for red and green, I don't think I will. I think initially we'll start with 2,400 of everything, and then if I want to do even more, then we can go bigger. But so I'd quite like to get it so that this is a functional base with loads of trains flying about, and then let's see if we can maybe put in some more generic type systems. So yeah, that is kind of where we are. What I do with the I even built a solar blueprint. We've got a can I find it? There it is. So a little repeatable tileable solar thing. It's a perfect ratio. Or what I think is perfect ratio, 25:21, is it? I can't remember. But yeah, so even that's there, and I put a whole load of solar in there. I've doubled up nuclear. We might have some problems with nuclear, because what I would normally be doing is like using up the dark green uranium in ammo. But of course we don't really have walls. This is a train world, so we don't really have any draw on the uranium ammo, so it's all kind of just like sat here not really doing very much or anything. As you can see, it's reprocessing, but I just chucked a load of them in because it was all getting backed up like hugely. So I moved these over so that they're the first ones that happen. I should probably also switch out. These should just be speeds to like reduce. I don't want extra productivity. But having it do it faster would be useful, although as you can see it's completely backed up. So yeah, I mean it's not like we're running out and we're all getting blocked, but you produce so much uranium fuel that it's sort of unless you're using the uranium elsewhere, and I don't really like nuking things, so yeah. Is that enough preamble-y, intro-y, blah blah blah? Probably far too much. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is we will have a base here that will do 2,400 or somewhere in that ballpark I was looking for my grenades of red science. I think I'm going to build it over this side. I've been tending to do, as you can see, in the front of the thing, but I'm thinking maybe... Yeah, let's put it sort of on the side. So if we were to say that this is going to be the pickup for red science. There's been some weirdness with the trains as well, because I tweaked the destruction basically. So it now doesn't have this going to depot as a default thing. Because when I was sort of thinking it through, and this is kind of thing, as I say, because there were a lot of trains sat here in the depot waiting to go. These two are doing low density structure and rocket fuel, which don't exist. And I kind of realised, well, why am I even sending them to the depot? They might as well just sit. If they've got nowhere to go, they're better off sitting in a, in a station basically. So yeah, that was a little tweak I made, an example of kind of what I want to do with this whole thing. Let's see then. So if we were to say, go out that way, and if this is our end, because I'm sort of aware maybe I want to double up, you see. So we'll just have it in a big long row, I think, and let's leave enough room for also going sideways. It's obviously red science, so it's very easy. And then if we go there, so that'll be our sort of starting point for building. Do we want to build? So if we go... In fact, actually, if we move that... Oops, move that back one. And we can kind of come in here. Yeah. I'm thinking... We go... Let's just put it there for a moment. So, because we need to make the gear wheels. And going to have them going out. So if we have like the iron plate coming that way. Well, I've actually got, you know, I kind of chopped that off. I've got plans for how I'm kind of going to do... these aren't, when I do the military, but like I'm going to do them like the military, where it's a proper factory doing all sorts of stuff. And I then sort of extract, you know, the science out of it, basically. So it'll make more sense when there's other builds, but effectively, see how this is making, you know, ammo and capsules and all sorts of stuff I don't really have a lot of use for because the biters aren't really a problem. But then it's making military at the end, and that's the same idea. So, for example, green science, when we do that one, would do it as a factory making belts and inserters, and then also military. And then also green sort of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm envisaging. I don't know why I've decided to do that. I just fancy doing something a bit weirder. So, I mean, do we really even need to speed these? Probably not. But yeah, let's look at some of the numbers. I'm just get a thingy in there, and then we'll want to move this up so I can look at the maths. And then put in there. I did sort of 8 beacon the military. It's remarkable the difference the changes to the beaconing make. Actually, it's yeah, it's quite significant. So 1.19. So 1.19. So if I want to do 1.400 divided by 60, so that's 40 a second basically. So if we're getting 1.19, we would need 33. Okay. So that would be 17 on the side, wouldn't it? If we didn't double-sided, obviously. So what's that? I've got 5 there. So if we had like that, that'd be 10. So that's then 10, 15, 17 on a side. It would be, that one doesn't hit it, does it? Yeah. And there. I do have some builder spidertrons, which we should probably bring over here so they can make stuff as well. Just bring you lot over. Okay. Anyway, point is, in fact, I didn't do the military. Did I do the military 8 beacon, or did I do it? No, it is 8 beacon, isn't it? So that's not actually going to work like that. In fact, my numbers are wrong then, aren't they? That's not 8 beacon at all. Let's see if we get rid of that. And then we want that on the other side. There we go. So what are you now? 1.25. But you see that adding on 4... Oh, well, they've not got the modules in, so let's get rid of that. And they'll fill right out. There we go. So it's gone from 1.19 to 1.62, adding 4 whole, you know, speed 3 beacons on it. It's that, you know, exponential type curve thing. But yeah, 1.62 then. So if I went 40, do I want it? Oops, divided by 1.62. It's 25. That's more reasonable, isn't it? So let's get rid of you lot. And then we've got that. 5, 10. Okay. So that's 15, 20, 25. Could I double it up? You see, I mean, I could obviously do it on the side, but if it was double, then it would definitely fit in that gap. Okay. Right. Move that to there so we can power this one as well. Oh, I haven't got any. I made them. I haven't put them any in. Yeah. There we go. So, 0.62 we would need, and we've got 25 machines. So 0.62 times 25, 15.5. So it's ever so slightly over a yellow belt. And obviously that's both of them. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Because that then suggests... So we would need... Might have to do some belt weaving. Because we kind of need one whole one of copper and one whole one of gears. So, if that's going to make 8 on its own, in theory, if we can somehow feed it 16 iron plate at once. So we don't really need that, do we, if it's going at that sort of rate. That's too fast for us, really. Although I can put prods in, can't I? Slow it down. Haven't got any prods. Let's get the login network on the... Have you lot got prods? You have, okay. Let's go via map view. We'll pop it in. Okay. So 10.5. And we needed 15.5. So will more than cover us. But yeah, we're not going to be half belted anything, are we? So if we go that way maybe. On that one. What are we going to need input? We're going to 6.5, so 13, 20 odd. So yeah, it needs to be a red belt of iron plate. And then we already need, we need a red belt of copper. So what I'm thinking is a bit of an abomination. There we go, like that. So, and then I can weave backwards like that. Wait. I do. I'm so confused. So I go there, no, there, yeah. And then copy that backwards. If you're there, we can have that one kind of poke out the back. Wait, if it's 40 a second, then that's actually a red belt, isn't it? Right. If we want 2,560, yeah, it's 40 a second, so that is actually a red belt. Dang. That's annoying. Oops. So what I think I'm actually going to do then, especially since this is a bonkers length, is we'll halve it. What would be half? It'd be 13, I guess? We'll slightly overdo it though. If we go there. As someone who doesn't generally build big in quite this way. So the realisation with what effect the beacon change really did have was a bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. So, if we're doing half and half, I guess we could therefore, if we do that, no, that's wrong way. That. Upgrade you lot. And then I guess I can just mirror it basically. So we go. Oh, I actually built it in. Actually, the input, that's the input, isn't it? So if we tile that one. Get one out left over. Although, if we were 20. Oh, because it's 13, not. Yeah, okay. If I take that. In fact, the whole thing, if I grab absolutely all of it, horizontally flip it. Awesome. Cool. Now this one, I guess we actually need to kind of split. No, that's the that's the copper. Which one am I doing where? I guess I could do that like that. No. So that one is the copper. Yeah, we go that way. And then go there. No. That needs to be... Which one am I doing? I got myself confused. That's that one, isn't it? So if I go to there... No. And that just needs to hop over that one. And go down there. Cool. What I could do, I guess, I could put the power in the middle, couldn't I? In fact, I could have that be there. Yeah. Yeah. So I need to move this one. Probably don't need to move all of them. Well, certainly don't need to move all of them. Oh, actually, on the... No, that doesn't work at all. Because then they both come out in the same one. That's rubbish. There we go. So we'll just use old school. Power poles. We go. What's a nice place from there? Something like that, maybe. Don't really like that being there. Looks like it's got to be there. So, yeah, these are going to need to go in every one, aren't they? Okay. Be there, would it? Yeah. 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 Oh. You're missed. Why are you missed? Because I guess we could just put there a bit of symmetry. Okay, so if we can get copper down this outside one, so we need a drop off of copper. I think we've just gone one, and then this would be iron plate. Cool. Definitely needs to be red belt there. Excellent. And then just down here somewhere. I think so. Sun's out, so the idiots who drive their very loud cars with very loud exhausts are driving around. You shouldn't hear that because it gets ducked on the audio, as they call it. But yeah, in case you do, that's what that is. That ripping, tearing sound is people who have these, what do they call loud exhausts? Roll-on electric cars, I say. So, it's exactly the same. So what did I need? I can't remember. I needed 0.62. No, it's 1.16, isn't it? Oh, have I not done the maths on that? So it's 1.16. So it's 1.16. And there are actually 26 machines, technically. So we would need 30, but one of them, I say, we don't really need to be running all the time. So it would be a red belt. So I need to produce a red belt of gears. Okay, now you're not powered though, are you? So you're not going to give me your proper numbers. So if we go, what? These in. Like so. We're probably going to need a second belt iron plate, because even with things, it's yeah, we're probably going to need a second iron line. So we need 10.5. Why are you? Oh, you're higher because you're not getting full benefit. You should be there. So 12, 12, 12, 12, 22, 33. So that is, in theory, a red belt. But what I'm actually going to do, I think, is if we go like that, then we can flippity floppy, since we got all these extra beacons doing nothing, we can like that. In fact, 1717. Okay. It's going to work out. It might not do. In the sense that, what would you be hobbled by? You'd be, I mean, we only need them to make like, so in fact, we got 4. So yeah, they should be alright. They should be able to run okay with that. Like so, and then we need to see if we can get them outputting as well. Because this won't actually produce 2 red belts. The inserters can't quite do it. But it's fractional, and these things aren't gonna... 20 is way more than a red belt, basically. So we should be okay. If you're producing 12 and you're outputting 12, then this one should work. So probably better actually use that way around. Because you can use these to sort of, that whole thing where they all swing at the same time. You get a tiny little gap in your belt. If you do different types of inserters, and you can also fiddle with the stack size. You can desync them effectively. You can do it with circuits as well. But you see what I mean? It doesn't quite produce a 2 red belts, but it shouldn't matter. So we are getting a tiny little gap every so often. So what I might do, in fact, it's probably because this one is more likely to get less. So if you take that down ever so slightly. Oops. Cool. It's full, isn't it? So it looks like we do need to go to red. No, in fact it's way over. My math's completely messed up. So if we're getting... So if there are 13 assemblers running at 1.62, so 13 times 1.62 is 21.06. Of course it's off. So I either need to put them on the other side of the belt, or I need to boost that up to red. And I can't boost it up to red. Because then my weaving doesn't work. So we need to go. Where is it struggling? It's struggling sort of from here. Wow, already? Really? So you're not able to output? What does that one? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I guess it's only doing it on one side, isn't it? What we can do is repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So we can weave this one as well. But that effectively... Because the problem is that these are all outputting on the same side. So I need to get them on the other side. And what I can do is I can use the weaving here as well. I mean, it's literally years since I did any kind of scale thing. I won't do that with it because it's blooming. If we get rid of one, let it eat through the things. Hello, Malakov. This is why belt weaving is evil. Exactly. It's a heretical art. I shouldn't be. I'd be thrown into. What do they call it in Warhammer? I can't remember. It's heretics. What do they call them? I can't remember what they call the... Or the... what do they call them? The Vindicares. Well, is it Vindicares? I can't remember. The assassins, basically, will be after me. Come on. Just trying not to fill up my inventory with a million gears. So let it all chug through. Cool. So, if we... Let's just do the top end here and see if I can work my brain around it. Because what we're going to end up with is we're going to end up with 2 sides of belts, which are not what we want. Because each one... Is that right? Because each side is 7.5. And I'm going to try and put 10 on. So we're still going to end up with a problem where we have... like 2.5, which would be 2 machines worth, wouldn't it? Yeah, okay. So we're going to need to do some heresy, basically. Okay, but let's get this first part done. See if I can work out the... Well, that's yeah, that's one point. That could be somewhere else, couldn't it? Well, I'll probably just end up like creating a one machine gap, and then I'll do something else. Basically, I'll take another belt down or something like that. Because the difference is tiny. Oops. If we do that... all those gears are gone. Okay, that's great. Do that, and then flip her around. I don't know what we used to do without... Before, Wait. I didn't connect right. I mixed them up there. There we go. Before flipping. I just thought if so, you know, because obviously, you know, came back and mentioned one of the things about that you could now flip everything basically, and I thought it'd be more of a, you know, a bit like the elevated rails. I thought it'd be more of a positive reaction to that. I don't know. Maybe people just expected that to be introduced. Cool. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this rubbish. What I could also do, thinking another way of doing it, would be to go out the top. That'd be trickier because it makes it less expandable. Right, now I need to change this as well. This needs to become a undo, but we'll leave that for the moment. And cool. So if I go, say, no, the undo would be there. So we've got like a couple of tiles like that. That's right. So yeah, other option, of course, as I say, is when we get to, so we go 1.62. So obviously about 10 machines is going to run out of room. So we could go to 9, which would be there, and then these 4 at the back is where we can do something else. Now, what is that something else? What is that something else? Because if I move this one down, or up, I guess, then we've got a little kind of gap there, but they're on the wrong side, aren't they? They're on the outs. I was thinking I could hop over. No. It's on the wrong side. So the other easy solution is just to flip it all round. And basically come out of... So if we flip that... And we've got an extra one there. Extra sort of direction. If we flip them... So it reduces its sort of repeatability, I guess. But then does that matter? I'd probably rebuild the... I mean, my trains aren't going to be able to deliver enough copper on a single train. And iron. So it probably does not matter. And what would these all add up to? So this is 8, so it's effectively another kind of a yellow belt-ish. So where could we take that down? What we could do... Obviously, I'm kind of trying to do this without doing any blue belt. We are going to build blue belt in a minute, but it'll be my first bit of blue belt for this entire thing. Let's move you out of the way. See what I'm doing. So because we know that's not coming out. And the problem is one of, let me think, sides, isn't it? So actually, what I could do... So, because we know that those are now coming out the other way. And I could still have that going straight down. And now they're only outputting on that side. And if we feed it onto the other side of the belt, then there's room for it, I think. I've just taken out the wrong inserters, haven't I? So if this is going that way like that, total madness. This is what we like. But yes, these need to be red at the top here anyway. This is not enough throughput volume. And in fact, it'd be better if these were... In fact, yeah, if I go like that... No, we go down there. And actually merge them as reds. Yeah, I'll do. There we go. Wait, if that has only a capacity of 30 and I'm making 40, it is 2 belts anyway, isn't it? So we don't need to mess about with that at all. I guess I could probably balance them together. Oh, that's going to make a difference. So I've made quite the spaghetti abomination there, haven't I? But basically the point is, this is now carrying like full 7.5. And I can always tweak it if I've got the numbers out slightly off. Plus the, whatever it is, 4 extra machines, which would be 3, 12. So it's still under the 15. But on both sides, whereas this is still only a single side. Cool. Okay. Let's hook it up and see where it blocks up this time. Oh, run out of inserters. Underground as well. Right, put you there. And you there. And let's bring you lot over. The whole thing of not being able to, only being able to remotely drive via map is confusing. It was silly having mods that just provided every fluid recipe flipped rather than the game being able to do it. Yeah, there's a few of them like that. It was like, you know, I guess, I don't know how to phrase it, but yeah, like, you know, why have you not built that one? Yeah, it never made sense for that some things were there and weren't there, sort of thing. There's another good example of that. I can't remember what it is. I think if we put one of them there, or actually, will you fit in that gap? No, you won't fit in that gap. Fit in that gap, then. Okay. Yeah. What was the other one? I can't remember what it was. Another whole fluid. I know it's quite controversial, the fluid mechanics one, but it never really made sense to me that it wasn't just a nice, simple thing, rather than the sort of complicated madness that they had. So you're backing up, okay. So you're backing up. But kind of only just. Every so often. Oh, you're fine now? No. So it stops every so often. Okay. So if we maybe flip... Wait. I need to take out... No, that's fine. If we go... So it's 4 machines. If we make it 5... What would I do though? I would flip that round, wouldn't I? So if I just make that regular, and that one regular as well. Because that's going on the inside. Should take a little while for it to work through. Are you any better? You're empty. Cool! All machines are running. You're not? Why are you not running? Because you're not getting copper. Because I forgot to reinstate your inserter. Okay? You've not got an inserter either. There you go. Actually, why have you got an inserter there? You shouldn't have one, should you? Let's have a look on this view. Make sure everybody's running. It's a bit easier to see the animation happening. Cool. Ah, what are you doing? Sat there doing nothing. That's because... Why is that because? Because I took that out. So if I put that back in like that, but then put that on top. It's not backing up, we are good. What I might do, given I got the 4th station, might put in a second iron train. Because it is going to just eat through that iron. When do you trigger to say come? 4.2... Because one of the reasons for putting it up here is we've got the copper and iron processing right next door, basically. Why do you look like you're going weirdly slow? Optical illusion, I guess. Cool. Cool, cool. We're actually doing science again. I mean, we're not doing science, we're doing red balls, but there you go. Welcome, by the way. I didn't say... Malika, I didn't say hello. You doing okay? We having a good day? Cool. Let's just leave that one then. If it turns out one of them can't cope, second one in, and I could always bump this up to 2, but I didn't put in a buffer, you know, a stacker. Yeah, we'll see how it does. Obviously, it's gonna fill all this up and be sat there doing nothing before I actually make any more science. Okay. Yeah, happy with that. So, let us take that tag off. And then get rid of... Oh no, I didn't put it on here. But the basic idea, I say, we'll do belts and inserters and green circuits. So, what I need to build is effectively a factory that builds all of those. So, it's going to bring in all sorts of stuff. It's not just, you know, iron and copper sort of thing. Is the theory, the idea. Whether that will work or not, I don't know, but we'll have to see. Let's head up. We can also bring the lads over. stop there. And then you're already selected. Excellent. Right. One of the things that is slightly weird on it, I've never really done a train work. I mean, I've done like rich settings and big patches and that sort of thing, but always kept the biters basically on default setting. And the fact that, you know, they don't come and do anything unless you've got hitting them with pollution is kind of weird, because I keep forgetting that they're there, basically. Okay, so I think we'll... Oh, yeah. I think we will put stackers on these, which gives us the question... No, all the way around. Of... Have we got the room? I think we have. I mean, we don't need to drop off. I'm not going to take the... You know, I'm not going to stick the belts and stuff in a... Or I'm not planning to. In a train or anything like that. They're just going to be there. So effectively I'm going to have this weirdly, massively distributed logistics system. Because I kind of... I say... I think I need to think of a purpose for this. To repurpose it all. But basically... I want to slowly just eat away at what's here, basically. So what I end up with left... I wondered about leaving power here, maybe. Power production, you know, like so... This could be where we do make the solar panels, but I could, you know, make nuclear reactors and boilers and stuff, just... And that's the purpose of this. And leave it with the whole coal generation. Trouble, but, well, it would be okay, because... As I say, we wouldn't have use for the bricks, but of course you need concrete for nuclear reactors. Yeah, you need concrete there, so wouldn't need the blue circuits and stuff like that, I don't think. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. I might as well put a 4 in. Bound to be something like that. And then we would want a pickup for green science. And we already know it's going to be doing 40. And we want... I suppose, actually, since it's 2 lanes, these don't need to be red, technically. Yeah, fine. It's already full. Cool. Right. Yeah, if we think about the same principle, can I just copy that? Because there's only 2 ingredients going in, obviously. So it can be identical, basically. But slightly, ever so slightly bigger, I guess. So if we just copy this up, and then let's put, say, we have power. Whoops! Somebody's put a dead tree in the way. Power pole up to there, say. And then maybe I do want to leave a bit of room. If I do any messing about. So if that's, say, there. Oh, I'm always doing messing about. Get the guys over. Yeah. Do you not have prod modules then? Oh, you do? I guess they've been assigned to the network. Okay, so we flip that to green. Obviously, we are slightly slower for green. Oh, crikey. Old place, how you doing? You doing the bad joke? Crikey. Hope you're well. Have to look one up now. Crikey. Oh, what's Google telling me here? Okay, so we want to go for a drink. Doing good? Yeah, not too bad. I've had some weirdness at work for a while now, but we kind of got into a phase where I'm overworked at the moment. I've got lots and lots to do, which is something I quite like at times. I don't like it continuously. But having loads and loads and loads of stuff to do is usually quite good for me for a while, as I say. And then I run out of steam, and then I fall over. But yeah, I'm very busy at the moment, which is good. Also, I got some rather. I'd have to go into it all basically, but there was something really amused me basically as well at work that has put a smile on my face. What the heck is that? Rubbish. Hang on. What we got here then? Show me what the jokes are. What have we got? I'm not sure I regard these as the best. I guess that's a relative thing, isn't it? For dad jokes type thing. Oh, what about that one? Why didn't the chef season his dish? Why didn't the chef season his dish? He ran out of time. Is time a seasoning? I don't know if that is really a seasoning. That one's quite clever. I really like the word plethora. It means a lot to me. I quite like that one. Plethora, which means a lot. Okay, so different numbers. So we need 1.35 a second. Oh, we're producing 1.35 a second. Where's my calculator? So we're producing 1. Oh, that's my calculator. Don't know if you managed to get over your struggles with platforms, or I imagine you've not been playing, to be honest with you. I have noticed that sort of, I don't know, maybe it's like a, don't we call it, like a hangover? Or a post-excitement or something like that, but kind of the interest in space age seems to have died off, really. What am I looking at? It was 1.35, wasn't it? Was it 1.35? That sounds wrong. 1.35. So it's going to make 1.35, and we need 40. So that was the wrong way around. If we go calculate, so 40. I've got the Windows calculator up, so you can't see it, but it means we need 30 machines, and this is not 30. This is 26. So we need 4 more. Okay. Now where does it go back? It goes backwards there. So if I take kind of, which one is going backwards? That one's going backwards. So if I take that, and then I literally add in 4 more the other one. In fact, do I need to even pick it up? That bit, I don't know, do I? I need to go 1. So we need to go up by 4 machines. So we need to be... Is that right? Yeah. Is that going to be enough? Because we're going to produce... I mean, the output is slower, isn't it? That's the point. But it's no more as a net total. Because was targeting the same rate, basically. Yeah, I think I've convinced myself that that will work, in quotes. But we'll have to see again. But I don't think these need to be going that way necessarily, do they? But it's not going to matter. Because we've got... So now we've effectively got 9 machines going that way. And 8 machines going that way. So 8... Oh. Why have you got different rate? Oh, because these haven't had modules in them yet. So if we got 9 as the worst one, so we got 9 times 1.35 is 12 and 12.15. Yeah, so it should be okay. Because they can output on both sides, can't they, for the most part? Well, where would... So, 2.7, 5.4, so that's 5.4. So, that many. So, 7, that would produce... So, that's one side of a belt. And then that's like the other side of the belt. And then these are going... Yeah, I think that works. It'd probably be cleaner if I wasn't like outputting on both sides. It's alright, they'll work it out. They'll work it out. The question though is whether I can actually get, because I think I need more of the actual like input basically. So we need more of the belt. So we've got 17 assembly machines and they need 0.96, so it's 16.32. No, we're okay. So long as we have a full red, well, over a yellow belt of regular inserters and over a yellow belt of where's the other one coming up? It's there, isn't it? Of whatever the other thing is called, transport belts, then we should be okay. He says with some very heavily crossed fingers. So if I can hook these into wherever. It doesn't matter where they go, so it's just connected to that. What we probably do want is some robotic ports somewhere along the line. Let's put it on here. Nice coverage. If the biters decide to come and chew on my factory again. Yeah. So we need to go where? There. So I guess I could just underground this side. Could do that. And that. Okay. Cool. That means we need a whole load, like a whole load of inserters. And how quickly or whatever can we make them? They're not powered, so you're not giving me the right numbers. 10 a second in theory without any modules in that machine. And what did we say we ended up needing? It was 16. So if we were to have 3 machines, then we would get 30. And that would give us a few spare to turn into all of the other magical inserting machines. So we want them, them. I guess we want them converting into them. But if we put, if we did direct insertion, these would kind of steal the. I mean, does that matter? What we could do is we could move this away, so this is over here somewhere, and then we could do a prioritized splitter that goes. Make sure you send it to science, by the way. But otherwise, send it up for turning into useful inserters. Okay. And what would we need to fill it? We need the power. We've got the power. We've got the touch. So it's just 10, 10, 10, isn't it? Yeah. 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10. So I'm wondering about doing exactly the same thing we did with the gears, basically, on the other side, that actually I make this more. Gonna need to move it out one, I think. 10 a second is a lot for a long-handed to exert, though, isn't it? So it's 10, because we only get... So we did do that. Oh, that are inserters. Ironic. Have you not got any? You have, look, loads. Okay. Because that will only take 15 though, won't it? So it might actually be better. Those two. That. Give them maximum exerting options. Okay. That means we need to deliver 10 of the green circuits. So if I get that, and we have that drop off, let's do, because we're doing other stuff here. So we know we need iron plate, but we don't need. Well, we're doing that. We need that for gears, don't we? So we do a couple of loads of iron plate. And a couple of loads of green circuits because they're used in like both the machines anyway. Yeah, because we need actual iron plate and gears, so we might need another iron drop off. Yeah, we'll see. Need 10. Yeah, it's 30, isn't it? Where's all my undergrounds? Oh, it's only on 50. Thought I'd flip them round. Don't know. So, if we were to try and do that, So I need to deliver. Three red belts. I think I'm just going to give it more space, basically. So if we go... In fact... How about... Take that out. If we did... Right... Done that weird, haven't I? Yeah, that work. What am I trying to do? Yeah, no, that's okay. Get very confused. So that'll get them all on the same belt and also free me up one side. Actually, should have just moved that up. Okay. Cool. So we can have one thing coming on there. We could do something weird with, like... Could we? Because we need... I say we need 3... It needs to be 10, doesn't it? So... These really need to be... Stack inserters. And what do you actually hold? It's only 3, you see. Okay. So... In that case... If we're going to do cursed builds anyway... And then the other one, just do... Oh! Oh yeah. Although that I guess should be that to prevent it polluting. Whoops. Oh, someone's cooking hot dogs. That smells delicious. Cool. We are going to need another iron drop-off though, aren't we? Because if I need to deliver both... But in fact, we're going to probably need several. But that's fine. That's why this is a bigger build. So if we do another iron drop-off... Okay. Would have been better if these were the other way round, wouldn't it? Okay. Didn't upgrade them. So what we do? We go. Oops. And then maybe this one's the iron plate. The regular iron plate. As opposed to the irregular iron plate. There's one of them, and we need to say, it doesn't quite deliver it, so we need to force it down that way. Be definitely a full belt. This one is going to be the belts. I could maybe rethink this. Doesn't quite cover it. Let's do one there and one And then the green circuits, that's not too far off, but we can do a hop over here. A hop, a skip and a jump. Like so. No? We're gonna, because we're gonna need them for the belts as well. So if we take that, we split that. Send my bots off. Get the network to build this. And then again, force that out there. What else are you missing? You're missing a full red belt of gears. What total madness. So if this is gears, unaided, it's only 2.5. So if we put in... Oh, we can do prods in this, can't we? Do we want to beacon it? Be nice to reduce the demand with some things, but I think maybe we'll just do like single beacon, compensate for the prods. So what do we get there? 6.64. Because we also need to do the belts, so we kind of might as well do the same thing I've done here. So we want 6.64. Whoops, 6.64 gets. So that's 12.18. We'll do the same thing. Oops. In fact, how many? So we need 10, so we need 30 coming in just for them. Okay. So I need some room to do that, don't I? It's that way. 6, 12, 18. It's slightly over the thing. Okay. Which was going to be the case. So this needs to be gears here. Run out of room on the belts hopping over. I could just... Because this is not going to be a full belt coming up there. And we need basically a full belt. So what we need is this one to come in and save our bacon. Basically. So... What am I doing? If I underground save that one and that one, and then same again. What's coming down that way? Oh, that's going to be the belts, isn't it? We want... Yeah, because that's the one going up. And we want to be able to split that. Kind of send some gears the other way. Do we? 6, 12, 18. No, these guys need a full belt of thing, don't we? So, don't really have any spare to split. Unless we invest in blue. Okay. That one just goes straight down there. Cool. Let's put you there, maybe? Oh, you're not connected. It's only 6, so we'll be alright with 1, I think. But it needs to input 10. So we might need a blue as well, but we shall see. So, that's 1 tile off, isn't it? That's nice. Now we need this one to be sort of a blend of the two. From the 2 different trains. Do I underground that one? We can just do that. But priority input from the other train, I think. Yeah. And then this needs to be why am I doing that? I could move that all up one. We could go instead. What am I trying to do there? I want that to be like that, don't I? And the priority to be on the right. Don't think that's any better. Oh well. We're gonna have... No, I don't like that. I'm sort of adding in jank just for the sake of it. Okay. In fact, could just do that one. Oops. Okay. So hopefully... Why are you not building it? Hopefully that'll work. Is it a mega base? It is, yeah. I mean, old school mega base, not the insane numbers that people can get up to in Space Age, because it's not Space Age, it's just regular old Factorio. But yes, it's I'm targeting 2,400 science per minute. It's really more around like stress testing the whole a system basically, and like, can I work out a way of doing train prioritization that's generic that works for those sorts of numbers? Because I'm sure it will then transfer quite easily into Space Age. But yes, it's an old school mega base in the sense of being a couple of thousand science per minute. Does everybody have an inserter? Or several? They do. So at the very least, I've hooked up inserters to everything. Okay. I guess we should just make these next, basically. So let's get the next thing we really need is more, because we at least need red circuits dropping off. I know that much. So let's add in more trains. I've never done one of these. Oh, it's not a it's not. Oh, it's not a city block, but it's sort of chunk aligned. Well, they're not. I don't know. I don't think technically they're actually chunk aligned, but it's a rigid fixed. What do you call it? Absolute grid rather than the relative, which is what I normally do. I'm kind of really liking it. I always sort of assumed I would hate that sort of thing, but actually, it kind of works. Okay. Let's have a look what we would need to do. So I guess nice easy one is the old long-handed. And then you just need circuits, don't you? And your Obviously got the same thing, but you need red circuits. Okay. Now the other thing we want to build is belts. So for belts, we would need them and them and them. So the lube is an extra thing. No, I'm not actually making lube separately. I do have heavy oil being put in tanks. Heavy oil is not moving though because that whole system is super clogged up. There's nowhere for things to go basically because things are not being used because there's no demand for sulfur essentially because my whole system has just like stocked itself up basically and all the belts and chests are full and blah 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 blah. So there's no real production of heavy. What we can do is just cheat and flush some tanks and it will start moving, but obviously only for a little while until we get good old blue science up and going. But I don't think that'll be this stream. So we then also need them and them. So all really adding on is like red circuits so far, which I'm pretty sure is it. But it's worth just reminding myself. Yeah, so it just needs the boob and the red circuits. Right. So that gives us... And so I'm not anticipating putting these on trains. So we're not exporting anything. So what we would need is red circuits and lube. And then we need to bolster up whatever we need to bolster up, which is probably going to be more green circuits as well. Maybe more iron. In fact, almost certainly more iron. Okay, that all makes sense. If we were to perhaps I'm tempted to keep this. I'm just wondering, maybe I should make this, all of this build is to build, the inserters. We would need red, do we need, yeah, we need red for them, don't we? And then we do separate drop-offs for these guys. Because that's all iron, that's all iron, that's all iron and lube. That's all right, that's on. So we need green circuits coming in, and red circuits coming in. So we could do a red circuit that we share. We could do a green circuit. Or we could do maybe lube there, I don't know. But do green circuits again. We don't really need more green circuits. I don't think, because they're not that heavily used in either. And certainly not in the component one like they are in the inserters. But yeah, so we could do red circuits and lube and then see which one we kind of need. I'm also wondering about whether to bot it. Botty. Because I'm just going to be sick in these in logistics chests. So do I turn some of these into storage chests and then the bots can do it for me? Feels like cheating at the moment. Yeah, so we'll cut and paste these up here somewhere. Need to get my box on to do that. There we go. And this we will think of as, a station to make belts. Because obviously I'm making all of these because they're going to feed the entire base. This will replace what we've got down here. The crude thrown together stuff. Okay, so we don't want to pick anything up. We want to drop off red circuits. How many? Oh, we don't need a lot, do we? Just one will do. And then we need to drop off for a fluid, which is heavy oil. I guess we just need one tank of that. one train of that? Do I want to put in a second lube train? I haven't added in any trains, have I? In fact, I don't think I've added in a... Oh, I have done a military science train. Okay. Okay. So we need that one. But now we've got... One thing I discovered is the back, the back mouse button works on these. So if you're going through it, so if you close that down and hit the back mouse button, it pops it back up again. And it's where you were as well, I think. What was I doing? I was looking to see. So we've got how many extra iron drop-offs I've now got 20 iron drop-offs. And there are 17 trains, but a lot of them, it's difficult to know how busy they're going to be, you see, with it all being in sort of a dead state. But let's at least add in one more iron train, one more green circuits train. I got bored of doing the circuits. We need way more circuits. But I got kind of bored. First up, I guess I could make it blue belt, but yeah. And then we want a fluid train maybe for heavy. There is something weird with these. It's like sometimes they fill up and sometimes they don't, and I think it's just the order in which they build the bits and pieces. Because there's no depot stop now. They don't go to depot automatically. It's like just the fluke of which order they build them in determines whether they actually, do what they're meant to do, as it were. Or if they go kind of weird and end up not having any fuel in, even though they're sat right next to fuel. I don't really want to build like that. Priority that way. So if I did... So if I just sort of stole... So make sure it goes and makes the actual ones we want. Then I just steal some there. Because we don't need to produce these like, at rate or anything like that. We just need to make some. So we could think about doing direct insertion. So what might that look like? If we went with that one first. Yeah, let's put some of those there. So they're getting a little bit of a speed boost. Then we put direct insertion. Can I do that slightly more elegantly? What I could do, that could go up there, couldn't it? And then, because that only needs gears and the yellow belts, yellow inserters. So we could that direct insert in there. And then can I get this to build it? I've decided I really don't. I've been trying the acid providers. I don't like it. I'm going to change the thingy to storage, filter storage. Because you just end up with storage chests with stuff in that, although apparently it's meant to now like super prioritize them, it seems to not do that. It seems to be more like distance based basically. What am I trying to make? I'm trying to make long-handed. I don't want any of this requesty business. What I do want to do, as I say, is swap these to storage. And make them filtered there. And we want to boost this up, I think. Since this is our big production area for these now. Yeah, so we can get iron plate in there. Like so. And some power. We also need roboports. Oh, it needs the inserters, doesn't it? Oh, okay. Let's move that out of the way then. There's a weird gurgle noise there. I forgot I've got my washing machine on. What the hell's going on? Okay. And you want them as well. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I never put any lights on the build, did I? Oh. Right. So that's a simple one. Now we want probably both of the, like two of these, because we'll end up using loads of the stacking. So as you can see, they're on my train design. So we'll probably want a separate one for this. But all it really needs is green circuits. And you need green circuits as well. As like an additional thing. So do we instead try to move this up? Because I can move that to like there. And then they're still hitting the other thing. Because then I can basically have... That's slightly too far, isn't it? Put that there then. We have the green circuits. In fact, we could have a half belt of green and red, maybe. Because these do need, yeah, they do need the regular inserters. So if I maybe copy, in fact, if I do that, change that into them. Actually, change the recipe as well. And then you can be them. Red belt. It'll reach over, but like only just. And don't you need gears anyway? You need gears anyway. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do something different on that, I think. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3. And no. That. Then I can hop over. Oh no, these need both green and red, don't they? Okay. That gets them the basic inserters. We've already got that. And it doesn't actually need gears. That's the point. What it needs is green circuits. It needs iron plate. So I could maybe swap it all around so we could have... These don't need this. Need that. Don't need to speed it up. But then that one could be the stack or bulk inserters. And then if we bring a mixed red-green this way, where's that going to fit in? So that would need to go there. That one there then. Okay. How are you getting iron plate? You're doing it like that, aren't you? Which means I need to swap these two round. No, wait, you don't need iron plate, do you? No. You just need circuit. So you need to be... Wait, let's redo that. So this one doesn't need iron plate, but it does need them. So we go like that. And it also needs circuits. Now if that's there in... Oops, that's there in... Do that. And that. Now you can grab them. What are you doing here? Why are you the wrong way around? Hello, Prismatics, how you doing? How parameterized are you now? Fairly parameterized. I've done a lot of... I need to fix this design because I don't quite like it. And I need one that's like this rather than... I've done a whole thing with the design that's like... You know, like... uses things to request in. And it does a... Basically uses the fact that it's like agnostic on what these are to multiply it up. Which is great. And I'm going to do that for... I will have a bot-based build doing that somewhere. But I also need one that is like belt-based, I think. As I say, I need to swap it all with storage chests because I'm not really feeling... I still can't really get with the passive providers. I just don't like that way of doing it, basically. But yeah. Yeah, so we are fairly parameterized. I wish the devs would go back in time and name the bulk inserter correctly when they invented it. So confusing. Previously the greens were smart inserters. You had to buy smartness with technology. Now even burners are smart and filter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's difficult to really call them, you know, oops, smart and stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it's weird when you think, I mean, I guess, yeah, you can get into like weird, you know, as I've done with my videos, you can get into weird law things, but it's like, what is a green circuit? What does it actually do? Because it's sort of, it's not any more smart, as you say, than the burner inserter. It's quicker, which you could get down to the, it's using electricity. So is a green circuit a way of doing electricity? You know, it's like a power converter, basically. Or, you know, like a wireless power grabber, to use a weird bit of terming. But, therefore, where does any kind of, you know, how do these things know how to operate, as it were? I say, I get into the weird things that my brain does then. Cool. So, we don't really want that one to be doing anything other than feeding this guy. Which it's not doing because it has a connection. I don't like that you can't clear the things. I'd quite like to just clear them here and be able to set them without it connecting. If we're talking about tiny little niggles that are niggly, then that's definitely one of mine. Right, so we need... So we got them, and we got them. We're not making any of them. Why is that set on blue? Blue, blue, green, not green. One, oh no, it's just the filter I need. Yeah. That should, but that's green. mixing. Okay. Blue, blue. Red, red. Cool. Yeah, we need to bring in these red circuits. I mean, we don't need anything more than a regular old belt. And then this needs to be... Oh, that's annoying that that's one off. Oh well, let's move it down. Do that. 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 Oh. Oh. I did a train-based thing where stations were named by parameters and the whole factory was built into city blocks. Can you name stations with parameters then? Oh, yeah. Sorry, of course you can. You can't name them dynamically with circuits. That's what I was thinking. And I think that's something that they need to add in. City blocks. What software do inserters have and is it proprietary on us? Exactly. I mean, it could be open software, couldn't it? You know, open software, basically. In fact, it must be. 100. Cool. We have bulk production of things we need bulk production of. Yeah, the engineer is like a generic thing, isn't it? Because he's like a it is like a software engineer, you know, mechanical engineer, civil engineer. It's just all of the engineerings. Cool. Okay, now what I'm going to do then, and what I have been doing as I build these things up, is like kill off the old one. Because then there's no chance of it kind of... If this doesn't work in reality, then this old system would mask it. Because it would still be making things. So if I've messed up somewhere, then we will soon see when we run out of inserters. We have a rogue lamp. We should have... There they are. Bolts as well. I never knew what I mean, stack... I mean, I get why it was called stack inserters, but it's only, you know, obviously recently that they actually started showing stacks on belts when they introduced stacks. I mean, I guess it was picking up a stack, wasn't it? And it would pick up individual ones until it got a stack of them. I suppose it does make sense, but... You know, they never really worked in stacks. Okay. So that is... What we could do as well, preemptively... What are you moaning about? Yeah, you're that one. You're that one. The oil pickup, yeah, there's nothing there, basically. So we can flush out these tanks to get the system moving. Always good to get flushed out. Get your system moving. It is good to catch these tiny little inconveniences to remember that Factorio is not as perfect as I think it is when looking at similar factory games. They should make train stops controllable via circuits. Yeah, you can sort of control them in that you can turn them off and on and set limits on them and stuff like that, but obviously you can't rename them or do anything particularly dynamic like that. You can also do a thing where, this is what I was fiddling about with, I didn't actually do it on stream, but you can get it to inject the signal into the like circuit network, which you can then obviously broadcast around, which is what I'm hoping is how my smart system will work. What will actually happen is I won't be able to do it, and then I'll get frustrated and we'll play another game. Not another game, but another series. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And we probably need to do almost exactly the same thing as this for the belts, except, I mean, belts in theory do at twice the rate, don't they? So, oh, we'll see how that goes. Right. Okay. Let's just copy it up. In fact, let's grab the power thing as well. In fact, let's grab all of that. Might as well. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it from the map. So I can do that. I don't think too many of the regulars of you know, those who watch this Factorio in particular, were watching the Satisfactory stream last week. I did rename it to kind of give the hint, but I'm starting to not enjoy it, and it's the same problem that I had before, where it's just the game doesn't scale very well. This scales amazingly. You can, I mean, look, you know, since last time, how much base have I added? And I haven't played, you know, 500 hours or something in a week. You know, it just, this game is good at, like, scaling. Probably because it was built by, you know, designed by a software engineer, really. But yeah, I'm sort of struggling with Satisfactory, because it's just not, it's just tedious a lot of the time, is the thing, you know. And I get people like, you know, love that part of it, but I don't know. I don't want to have to build the same, you know, it's like, I mean, I know 1.1 is coming in with the changes and stuff, so maybe that will help a lot. But like, even when you build a blueprint, you know, it doesn't connect to other blueprints, you know, so you've got to do it all yourself again. It's literally the opposite of an automation game. So yeah, I was not having fun, but part of that could have been, I say, that person who got the hump basically with me telling him not to backseat. So could have been that it was a bad juju. This doesn't have beacons on it, does it? This one, but we could stick a couple in the machine. Have we got any beacons? Not beacons, modules. Yes. How many will we need? Would be 2? 10, yeah, there we go. But we need half the stuff, you see. Oh. I rage quit my factory today as I discovered how hard it will be to properly build a belt bus based quality grinding for quality module 3. I'm not a massive, I gotta be honest, I don't think quality is really, I don't know, I wish the quality things did more, and I don't mean like more as in bigger numbers. I think numbers are just silly already, but I'd rather they had introduced quality things where, I wish it was special. It's like, and it's the equivalent of one of those grindy RP, you know, like Borderlands or something, where it's, you know, you're kind of just putting in the same, you know, they're the same but different, basically. That don't make any sense, does it? But I know what I mean. Yeah, it's just a bigger number. I'm hesitant whether to do a video on it, basically, but I'm not sure that I liked the fact that Space Age is basically just number goes up the video game. That's an exaggeration, obviously, but I don't know, it's not quite what I enjoy in Factorio, you know? And so the whole legendary thing where it's just a machine with a bigger number, you know? It's not really, I like the fact, so to me the space stuff is excellent for the quality because, you know, it's got more grabber arms, and I guess the thrusters are just bigger number, but, you know, it has some effect on some things where it changes them in like a better way than just it's faster. You know, it's like I'd almost rather like, for example, the Foundry or something, that it didn't increase the speed of it; it increased the productivity. You know, or you know, a bit like with the Biolab where it changes the consumption rather. So it's another lever to play with, sort of thing. To me, the fact that basically everything can be made quality, but what it does is just have a slightly bigger number, is not massively interesting. You know, it's fine, you know, but okay, you know, it's just sort of so what really. And yeah, so the whole you end up just doing the quality grind, and it's just like, you know, okay, it's not massively interesting to me that. You know, I don't hate it or anything like that. It's just it's not particularly interesting mechanic they've kind of introduced there. So, where am I getting these extra iron plates from? I guess we need another one here, don't we? Is the point. So we need a... We've got the lube... Oh, in fact, that's not even come in, is it? Do we need to flush again? What you waiting on, my friend? What you waiting on? Where's the... There it is. 17... Gonna have to flush it again, these. Yep. Oh, I've flushed the wrong one. Need to do the full thing. Oh, wait, yeah, I need to turn all this into rocket fuel rather than just like flushing. But yeah. Well, nice to have deconstruction blueprints as well. That's an interesting idea. Like deconstructing specific things in specific locations, always the same. Remove everything that is not the proper place of the blueprint, replacing it. Otherwise, I have to deconstruct everything and place a new blueprint over consistently. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously filter deconstruction planners. In fact, I got one there, but you know, so you can set it to be all sorts of stuff. Oh, cargo landing pod is part of. Huh. That's interesting. Because this is obviously base Factorio. I wonder why that's there. But yeah, so if you just wanted to take out your long-handed inserters and you know your rail chain signals, you can do that sort of thing. But it's a blanket that you're still just going through finding them all. Yeah, that's quite an interesting idea actually. In Satisfactory, you have to travel always further, always build bigger, and the blueprints are limited hard. I want more automation in my automation game until it's fully automated. On a conceptual level, I understand it good. I'm glad that it's made some sense at least. But yeah, so it's not. I don't say I'm kind of exaggerating in the sense that I don't hate it. It's not some passionate, you know, dislike of the game. It's just I don't know. I guess it feels almost like because I did, you know, I only played it that once basically. And essentially rage quit as well. It feels like maybe... I suppose it's in a sense like the Factorio thing where... And I didn't really have this problem specifically, but where people get to Blue Science and they think, oh no, my base is a complete mess, I should rebuild it all. And they restart. And so it's a bit, you know, I think it's possibly a bit like that, where it's sort of... If I'd done that more... And so I was able to build, you know, I don't know, I could deconstruct everything and rebuild, but that's almost part of the problem. Deconstructing in that game is manual. You know, I can't just go, right, I hate my base, you know, kill it all, and then leave the bots to sort it out. You've manually got to deconstruct your entire base, or you go and build somewhere else. There's that. I could go to the desert or something and just build some completely new factory. But yeah, it's a bit sort of like, you know, maybe I should be taking everything I've learned and restarting sort of thing. But I just don't have. I don't think I have the patience for that in that game. Because it was a lot quicker and a lot more fun, I guess, doing the initial stuff again. But now I've hit the space elevator tier 4, and everything's starting to take. It's like every recipe takes 20 seconds to make, one thing. So you need 50 machines to, build 500 of them in anything less than the, age of the universe sort of thing. And I could spend hours building new blueprints and do like specific ones that work for specific machines rather than the simple generic ones I've got. But I don't really like the blueprint builder either. I think it's so... it's clearly what it is. It was kludged together to do something that it was never meant to do. I guess I need... Oops, I don't want wood. I want iron plate again, I guess. And then we want to upgrade that. Oh, we have a heavy oil train. Okay, what do we want to do here? I suppose if we don't need it anywhere near as much, and this I can use these gears to make the other bits. In fact, those don't have... I never put one of them on there, did I? Because I moved it out of the way, in which case we don't need that one. Okay. So now it should be, yeah, so it's making 10. Cool. I think I'm gonna do, so where's the actual, so it's here, isn't it? If we go that. Yeah, I had a bot-based parameterized quality grinding thing, and then I had millions of half-assed quality intermediate things, and I wish I had built it in a better way from the start. The thing about Factorio is that you can just copy things in place into blueprints. You don't have to go to a specific machine and do your factory there, so where it actually needs to be. Yeah. I don't know. It's sort of like I get. Wait, that's completely wrong, isn't it? We're not going down there. What idiot's done that? Yeah, I get the whole. I know why people prefer Satisfactory. I get it. And I, fully understand that Factorio is not for everyone, but a lot of the time it just feels like I'm spoiled with it, that it's just, for me, so much better, so much more enjoyable, so much better optimized and better functioning sort of thing. I don't actually want that to be prioritised here, do I? I want it to be prioritised here. It's the, in fact, if that's like, no, we don't need to prioritise at all. What we need is to make sure that it's coming down that way, don't we? So that there's definitely a belt getting to the end. Why you no work? Oh, because there's something weird going on with... them things. You're still not working. Oh, because the inserter's in the wrong place. You should tell me these things. Okay, well that looks like a pretty full belt to me. And we want the priority down that way. Did I build the green science train? No, I didn't. I got distracted by heavy oil, didn't I? So. Green science. We might even get onto blue just slightly. It's only 10 past 6. Oh, we have green sciences, but not a lot. Why is that? What have we done wrong? You notice I use we when it's me that's made the error. That's going the wrong way, isn't it? That's one problem. I love when machines fire up. Is that you can just copy things? Do you see about the AI agents or AI LLMs getting benchmarked on Factorio? Streamer we I know it. Not sure I get that last bit, but no, I didn't know. What was that? Benchmarked on Factorio. I did want to. Well, I guess I can just say it. I did want to do a sort of a challenge thing, where I basically see if ChatGPT in particular, it's obviously the one that kind of most people have access to, if it's able to actually play Factorio, and I don't mean as in it controls the game, but as in if I'm asking it questions, why are you not working? You know, like, how does X work? You know, how do I do this or do that or what have you? And, you know, does it know enough in a sense? Know's the wrong word because LLMs don't know anything. But, you know, is it able to give instructions? Because obviously it's going to have been generated from, you know, basically Reddit posts and stuff like that. So effectively the question is, you know, is it able to make sense of Reddit posts and give sensible answers where you could follow it as a guide sort of thing? So these are not outputting. Why would that be? Because there's no more. I guess if that's putting on that belt, these don't actually need the output there, do they? So, then that's full. Okay. Why is that? That one is now outputting. Okay. So can one more machine work? If we go there. Take that out. That's wrong. Oh, no. So these wouldn't be... Oh no, we've already got that, haven't we? So we don't really need those two. This one I could put, you know, I could side load on there anyway. No issues. Let's see if we can create a gap. Let's put in. There were research papers where they tried different AI models to build as much or a good factory as they can. Post such a link. Unfortunately, links don't work. They don't work because you know, I know Ultimate Plays you were here, I don't still here, but obviously, you know, tend not to have a moderator, so it's difficult for me to monitor chat to the extent that, well, you know, the type of games I play, I get carried away with them. And then sometimes people have been chatting away. So if a bot, you know, like a porn bot or something came in and did that, then it wouldn't be great. So I tend to block links. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, it'd be, private. But I mean, if you want to be, if it's worth looking, sort of thing. I do follow you on Blue Sky, so you could post a link there, or DM me, I guess. But yeah, I would be interested to see what they've done. Well, this is still running, so it's not backed up. But it looks like this is pretty full, so I don't think there's any spare room. But this one is not running. Oh no, it is, very occasionally. Okay. So if we were to... I need to copy this over, because this is not how I've got it on the other side. Let's get rid of that tree. Because I kind of get the issues people have with AI, and I would kind of echo a lot of them, But a lot of it's more to do with the training data. I don't, and particularly in particular, what, I guess it's height bubbles and stuff like that, isn't it? But, LLMs are not intelligent, it's not that way, but it is incredibly clever how it works to me. So I need to get rid of, that one needs to go. And then that one. And then their equivalent. Oh, it is running now. I guess it just took a little while. No. It's like occasionally it doesn't. How very odd. I guess this can run because it's going on both sides, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Oh, and why are you not working? Oh, because you haven't got stuff. No stuff. No stuff is a different issue. Why no stuff? Because no stuff shouldn't be an issue. If I've got... How many machines have I got? Got 34. That sounds like too many. 34. And they're outputting 1.35. I'm wondering if I've added too many times 1.35. Multiply that by 60. Yeah, that's way too many. So I should actually have, if I do 60, it's 40. And divide that by 1.35. It's 29, so it would be 30. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I got four machines too many. I guess my copy and paste was not very good. That's very annoying. Okay. So I need to take out 4 machines total, don't I? So we can get rid of these ones on the end. The ones that, interestingly, I'm sure it's no accident, no coincidence or what have you. I'm sure it is a coincidence, rather. But the broken ones are the ones we're having a problem with. Electron. Cool. Everyone seems to be happy. What what I do want to just do, if I copy and paste this, right, and like, not H flip, V flip, is that all identical? It looks all identical to me. Cool. Well, so, you know, going back to the satisfactory thing, not to rag on it, you know, but I'm going to rag on it. The sort of analogy I was thinking of is like, Factorio is like working on, and I mean blueprints as in like real world blueprints, you know. Factorio is like designing things on a blueprint, you know, it's a piece of paper and you're designing on a piece of paper. Whereas satisfactory is like building a house in the real world. So it's like, what I need to do as well, actually, we do need to have somewhere, just thinking about it, where we do request in like old, like upgraded yellow inserters. Because otherwise they'll just back up somewhere, won't they? In the assumption that they're not going in a box anyway, which I'm pretty sure they are. But yeah, so it's like, you know, the different challenges in this, it's different things, you know. When you design a house, you're just looking at it almost theoretically. But when you build a house, you've got to deal with pipes and cables and, you know, things that are there physically in the real world getting in your way, sort of thing. And I kind of wonder if that's like my root, the root of my issues with it. Oh, have we filled up? We've filled up. Wow. Wow. Okay, next job then is the extra machines to make the extra things. Now. Okay. So they all use green circuits though on that side, don't they? We have another one here. Do we bring in more green circuits? Or do we bring in more iron plate? I'm thinking iron plate. Because we can make the lube. We've got the red circuits, we don't have just a steel. We just need, you need insane numbers of gear wheels, particularly for blue. Blue are like terrible value. Really. If you've been watching, Kovrix has been doing the like bug fixing videos. I think I mean, he kind of said so, but he's kind of, you know, I think he's doing it basically because it kind of needs, it's that thing of having somebody watching you basically, and so he instead of messing about, you know, not doing anything as it were, or I think he actually phrased it as going on the internet. Instead he can, you know, use that to force him to make the things. So I'm going to do this. This is, let's let Catherine the Sky design this. The way she does it. I always mess it up though. So we go like that, and then you do that, and then you put that there. You there, then you copy them. Oops. And that one becomes yellow belt, and that one becomes, because you have this chain of like, these need the yellow belts, but these, oh, that's wrong one, isn't it? It's the undie. These don't need the red belts; they need yellow undies. So it sort of forks and then splits up. So this would then be no red belt, and then this is blue belt. And so this would be red splitters, Blue splitters. And those need to move. In fact, I normally do like that. Thinking about it, don't I? I think something like that. No, that didn't seem right. I've got a blueprint for these somewhere. Yeah. So in the middle I do it. And then that one's one there. Okay. Get some power on the situation. And then obviously some roboports. Cool. Because yeah, we can then feed up what you do. So we probably need more. I'd like to double this up because it's just absolutely mad how many whatchamacallits you need. Can't tell it's getting towards the end of the stream, can you? Whatchamacallits. Yeah, so that is iron. That one doesn't. So we bring iron kind of along here. So that those can get access to iron. And then we have gears. That's right. The red-green circuit mixed there. What's the extra thing you need? You need gears, 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 gears. Let's move that one down a little bit. Like that. Gears and them. Gears, gears. Green circuits, gears. Gears, 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 gears. Yeah. Okay. So if we have that one feed up there, say. I was going to use these, wasn't I? Oh well. We'll just have a separate build. Hydrate, thank you very much, Ultimate Plays. I was getting a bit carried away again. So, yeah, because ultimately, when if and when I go to full red replacement, this can become a requester. But we need it to be filtered at the moment, so we would need. So this is splitters. Splitters. I'll put that one there, but that's in the wrong place. Blocking our loop. So maybe we could put that there. And then this would be blue belt. That's red belt. That's yellow belt. And then if that is yellow underground. Red underground. Blue underground. Okay. Also need to connect them to lube as well. This needs to be a combined red and green. Yeah, so we will bring in more iron, I think. Drop off. There we go. Iron. Trains worth, please. Please, train, please. Okay, so we've got those gears going that way. Do. And then we can steal some from here. Making sure that it stays on for science. In fact, no, okay. Yeah. No, that's not that one. That's that one. Okay. And then that allows... Oh. I do need another one of them. Okay. Yes, so we want that one. Doot. And then we have our 2 belts of iron from here. In fact, do we want to move that up? We make that be... Get rid of all this, couldn't I? Make this be... There, maybe? Somewhere-ish? Roughly? Kinda? Sorta-ish? Oh, well, that's... That would be the circuits going out. So, not circuits, the gears going out. So maybe there? Giving or taking? There. That covers everybody. So you're going up there. I should probably like balance these for when trains are being weird and not showing up. Right. Cool. What does... Oh, that's the red-green circuit, isn't it? So if we... No, we don't need to split it, do we? We could go like that. I also think he's a like R full rotator, like me, where I can't get my brain to get on board with Shift R. So I just hit R, you know, just over and over again, going round and round in circles. And from, because you can hear his key clicks, and I'm pretty sure he did the same thing. Cool. Now we need to set up some conditions on these, but they need to be circuit ones mostly. So except for this one can. Oh, we need the loop. Let's get some lube. Let's do something like that. Down to here. To there, say. I thought I made some lube somewhere. Oh, I do. Oh, that's obviously in the old base. What's this? Oh, it's for electric engines. Well, let's just copy that then. Inevitably done it somewhere else before. See, I'm going to rag on it again now. You could never do something like that in Satisfactory. It's like, you just couldn't. I mean, you'd literally have to just build it again. Ow, that's too far. Genius. Well done. Well done. Put that there then. Let's move these over a bit. And don't get me wrong here, I know it has lots of advantages. You can never build anything as pretty as some of the stuff people build in that game. In this, you know. But horses for courses, I guess, isn't it? Okay, we have a belt here. And he's running green circuits. But what we want to do first is we want to say, connect to the logistics network. So we'll make, say, let's do 2,000 so that stockpiles them, and when I go mad and try and do that, upgrade. It's at least got some. And then we'll make, say, I don't know, 400 of them. Not 4,000, 400. And I don't think 200 of them. Now, what we need to do next is connect all of these to the corresponding storage chest, like so. This one, actually, what we can do, we can just put regular old limited chest. That's going the wrong way. We need more. We need more. We always need more. We're playing Factorio. Yeah, you need an insane number, don't you? These are probably the wrong way around, though, I guess. What we could do, possibly, is say input priority for these guys, and then output priority that way as well, because he's more hungry. Andy is 80 years. Where exactly do 80 gears go on that? Get rid of that. 80 years. 80 years. And this usually like 60, isn't it? 40, there you go. Just madness. Absolute madness. Okay. I could probably get you to focus more on that side as well. In that. And this needs gears as well. Let's do a balloon. Okay. So yes, the conditions we need to set on these are that circuit conditions don't turn on unless there's less than... Well, let's just use 400 again. Is it 400 I did? Yeah, I'll do. So, same here. Do. If less than 100. And then on this side, was it 200? I think it was 200, wasn't it? So we go 200. And then 200. And then what we're going to do here, we made, was it 4,000? 2,000. But we're using red belts properly. So we'll set that to 4,000. And then this one, oops. Might as well just do 1,000 or something. So there's a good stockpile. It doesn't go insane. Now, red and green circuits. Kind of need exactly the same thing as this. So let us do a split there. Split there. And have this go the other way. How are we doing? How are we diddling? Oh, no iron on that. Should probably take out... How many are you going to... Yeah, 30. If we maybe... get rid of one of them. What are you moaning about? I've got a lot of stone brick. Why have I got all of them? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Now, trains. Trains. We have... How many iron plate? We've 18 trains in our iron plate group. But 22 drop-offs. So we need more iron plate trains. We have 12 pickups. But a lot of these are saying destination full. That's interesting. Is this actually full? It's just... Oh, it is. No. It's interesting this is so spotty in its output. It wasn't been like that before. Interesting. So we're not really struggling for trains, but... Yeah, it does nothing like a red belt's worth, does it? What I can do, a very easy doubling up, is literally to put a thing on the other side. So, do that. You know, it didn't take up any space, and then just literally do that. Would it fit as well? So I couldn't put a full one in. I couldn't put another chest. Whoa! Scared the pants out from me. Oops. Kind of does need the box though, doesn't it? Hmm. Why does this now seem to be outloading more? I guess because there's back pressure. Interesting. I do love that it now shows the plates going through. Such a nice little touch. Well, still 15 minutes left. I was expecting I wouldn't even finish this. But we're done. We are done. I mean, once it's... in fact, it will help out if I kill off these ones. And it's the same thing again, that these being here, as it were, effectively provides like a safety net, which I don't want. Oh yeah, there's the lab. I guess. Let's leave that one then. Because we'll need a bunch more labs. I haven't done the maths on that yet. Okay, so that's the... old belt's gone. I see they're taking them from there and putting them in there. So we got rid of the inserters, didn't we? And we got rid of the belts. We've now done this one. Cool. Ten minutes left. Okay. 10 minutes. A quarter of an hour. It's all going to come grinding to a halt because of this. So I guess the most sensible thing... In fact, we just need to just be a little careful because we are in a desert. And there are friends nearby. So maybe the actual answer is to... where's my spider go? Is to do something. Sorry to ask, but can you make a tutorial on how to have multiple of the same train for Megabasis? A video on YouTube. Yeah. You asked before about the platforms thing, and I wrote like half a video. The trouble is, I get a bit carried away with them. I need to find a way of doing simpler, like just that, as it were, don't I? Because the trouble is, I get carried away and I write 20 pages sort of thing, and then something else gets in the way. So yeah, I'd love to, but I need to think of a way. It's one of the reasons. I don't know if you saw the five tips ones I did. I was trying to get myself to do like a shorter, less rambly, thing. I could obviously do it like in this and like edit it down or something. But the trouble is, I'm sure you're aware, I just ramble and I get distracted and I do other things and I'm all ADHD and whatever it is that, I don't follow the thoughts through. So that's why I like to script them and then I can read the script and stuff like that. So yes, I would love to. 20, I'm pretty sure it's 20. You have to admit the font sizes. The way I write them, because they're a script, and when I read them out, they have to be on like an auto cue. So the font size is quite big. So it's like, I think it's 16 font that I use. So it's, I don't know, it's maybe like 12 pages. And it's all spaced out, and you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was getting a bit big because it was everything. Basically, the script was everything I know about platforms, which is, I know, you know, it's not what you asked sort of thing. But I was just, you know, there were pages. I was just adding in. Oh, I could talk about that, and I could talk about that, and I could talk about that, and talk about that. You know, what benefit does quality have for platforms? And so I got to a point where I was like, this is just silly. You know, there's no way I'll even write this, let alone the thing. I did think about it, and I did ask some things on it of like, oh wait, why are you not shooting? Oh, with gun. There we go. About maybe just putting like the script basically online somewhere somehow. So you'd have the words and stuff, but it wouldn't be a video. Oh yeah, I saw that one. The what is the engineer really? It's very interesting. Yes, I mean that was, yeah. I started doing them because it's kind of fun, that sort of stuff. It's just, you know, I really like doing that type of speculation. Hopefully it comes across. It's not like meant to be serious. It is a bit sort of. Well, there's like, you know, it's an interesting points in there, but it's like who cares what the engineer is? You know, it's not. It doesn't matter for the game. But I think it's quite fun. So yeah, I did that one. But I also did one. It was like 5 quick tips. And again, the trouble is I go overboard on it really. It's because part of it is because I like watching edited video. Because I'm old. You know, I grew up on television, like proper old school television. You know, not YouTube sort of thing. And that, you know, there's all these, you know, like advice videos on, you know, like doing the YouTube videos and stuff, and a lot of the point they make is that people don't really care about high production values. You know, if a video tells them what they need to know, or, you know, is interesting in terms of content and stuff, then whether it's, you know, recorded in 4K and there's all these video editing stuff, it sort of doesn't matter, but it's also not actually true. It's like higher quality videos just do better because some people are like me and they prefer something a bit more like a TV program, as it were. So probably need to take these guys out. I could show you the artillery thing I built. It's very, very simple. It's basically, where would I build it here? I guess I should probably pop it up there. In fact, it wouldn't get built in time. Because I'm going to need to grab that oil, basically. So, the artillery thing I built has 2 parts to it, one of which is not artillery. The first is this, which is just a little collection of lasers and a few guns. If it was in there, say, that'd be fine, wouldn't it? And this is meant to protect it because we have no walls at all. And the second part is this, which is literally just a drop-off station set to artillery shells with a request for 1 train. And so once the bots eventually build it, we might get up there and build it. The train over here, which is simply a artillery wagon, you know, replacing a normal wagon and requesting in all the shells. Once that finds that there is a station it can go to it will go there. It's quite manual. You know, once it's there, it'll only leave once it's empty, and I'm unlikely to fire 100 shells. So, you know, I have to effectively sort of send it back home again. But it's, you know, it's 2 clicks basically, so it's not difficult. But yeah, when they get a bit thick like this, it's a bit too much for my little Spidertron. let's have a quick look up here. This guy's got lots of legs in him. He's very, very quick. Yeah, we have weird, random things. A lot of people thought, kind of replied with, you know, the whole, the engineer's a fish thing, which I assume they were mostly joking, but I don't know. I do like the fact that, you know, the fish is in the Spidertron stuff, but it sort of begs the question to me, if the engineer is a fish in a suit, then exactly what is it doing to the other fellow fish? It must be enslaving them, you know. Even more monstrous. Right, let's see if I can build this. Are you going to build that? Or are you just locked in? Yeah. You're locked in, aren't you? I don't know what logic it uses for... Because sometimes when you turn up, you know, your bots will, like, replace the ones, even when they're this colour, where they're actually still doing, you know, they're on the way. Or assigned to a bot. Your bots will sort of supersede them. But it seems to be, like, random. Because why are my bots now not building all this rail? I've got tons of it. Got loads of spare bots. But that request, for example, to stick the uranium ammo in, that will be... There'll be a bot already on the way doing that. Oh, like this one. Why is it not doing this one, but it did do that one? I don't know. It's sort of... I don't know. Odd. Can't see any logic to it. There must be logic. Just don't know what it is. Okay, the Buildertrons also have a load of... Yeah, they have rockets and stuff. They're not completely defenseless, so we should probably bring them over. So we've got something more substantial to refer to, because as soon as this arrives, it's going to have some fun. It's going to have some fun. But yeah, I'll put it on the list. I'll see if I can make myself do a short video. How to multiple the same train for 4 megabytes. It's a video on YouTube. Yeah, okay. I guess I could use this as like a direct template, couldn't I? What I've done here. I quite like this train thing that I've set up. I hadn't really ever, you know, intended it to be something I would use again, but I quite like it. It's very, very simple just to build it out. I have sort of ended up understanding the appeal of city blocks. I sort of get it now, but you know, I still prefer more higgledy-piggledy haphazard stuff. Oh, here he comes. Here's your artillery man. Here we go. Fun for all the family. As long as it's not biters. We are at the stage where it takes multiple hits from an artillery to destroy a nest. So it's quite expensive clearing them out. I need to do the buffs and stuff, but science is just, you know, I haven't done any science in absolutely ages, because as you can see, it's all quite low. I always quite like to wonder what they're communicating to each other, because the way they behave is so naturalistic, and it can't possibly be complicated logic. But you know, the way they swarm around like they're all sort of psychically communicating, of like, You know, have we got enough to attack now, sort of thing. And then they'll all suddenly stop, and then off they go. It's really clever done, the way it's done. They also do some interesting behaviours, where, like, for example, like if there was like only one nest, and I destroyed the nest, some of the time they don't. You know, there's like one biter knocking about. It'll say, it'll go and join one of the other nest groups, rather than attack you. It'll just like run off to it and like join another group. And like this, they do this wiggly path thing. So they're going straight there. Boy, did it. In fact, let's move me up a bit. Get some rockets on there as well. I'm glad they updated the graphics as well. They're horrible. A lot of these look like brains and lungs and stuff. Yeah, very horrible, but that's why they're good. I like your sparse city blocks method. I see you doing an evolutionary biology or biter social structure speculative video. Yeah, I have a video planned on. It's not really written. There's got like 5 bullet points in it about the biters, because I think there's something more going on with the biters. One of the things that interested me, or I remember and has stuck in my head, is that there was a post on, I think it was on the Discord, where Erendel basically. So one of the other devs asked Erendel whether they could post the biter life cycle that they'd put together. You know, that Erendel had put together, and he made a comment that it was being saved for something. Oh, I don't know if Erendel's here. Not sure the gender thing, but yeah, I sort of. And I wonder what that was, because I joined the appeal multiple times to get an art book for Factorio. They actually did one when it was the original Kickstarter. But like a space age one would be great, and certainly I'd love to find out what the official theory is behind the biter's life cycle, because they don't make any sense. They don't eat anything. They don't fight with each other. You know, it could be like the pentapods where they do, but they can't afford the resources, and there's not much point showing it in game. So that's the natural clearance done. What I need to do, obviously, then is extend this out and clear out some other guys and gals and squishy beasties. Oh, there's some more coming in. But yeah, you kind of reach a point, as I'm sure you know, with the, I could do more, and I will do more just because I do sort of thing. But everything's effective enough that it can just kill behemoths type of thing. So yeah, there's not you sort of plateau. Even now with the only thing that is really affecting that is the night nest thing. And obviously there's the entire separate research for speed, and then it's explosives that they benefit from, isn't it? I think, is that right? Is that one? Yeah, right. Do I add to artillery? No, maybe they don't. I always thought they benefited from, in fact, I can see it on here, from the explosive damage. Do they not? Maybe I haven't done enough for it to show it. Where's the explosive one? So rocket. No, they're not on there, are they? Maybe it's like the next step up, as I say, like the next one past that explosives. Do we get past that? If I start that temporarily. No? No, maybe they don't. Interesting. Not that one? No, that's cannons, isn't it? Yeah, they're the range, though. Maybe that's just in Space Age, is it? Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Space Age one. Artillery damage. Oh, that means I'm going to be cursed to double tapping all of the nests. How painful. Anyway, so that's it for today. Yeah, that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. I will be continuing to try and learn to love Satisfactory. Obviously, if I do end up that it's actually becoming unfun, I will stop, and we'll probably just play more of this. It's been a real contrast this week of just how much I've been enjoying messing about in this, adding more and more stuff to it, and finding that super easy versus. I was making the heavy is it the heavy modular frames? I can't remember what he calls them. The square boxes where it's like the second level of them, and it literally took all of the stream to build one machine that was making like one every 12 minutes or something stupid. And I could literally have stood at the workshopy thing and handmade 10 times that in the same time period. I just sort of, and I know, I could build some blueprints and, sort of scale out that way, but bringing the resources in, you can't blueprint, the miners and stuff like that. You have to go there and build the things as well. And it was just very, very stark that just building these things, I needed 23. I was like, well, I'll build a machine and let it, make some. And it took the entire stream to make these machines. It was just like, I don't know. And Emil Stuka, welcome and goodbye. I still hope for Aquilo enemies in 2.1 as a mod. Same here. That's one of the videos I have been working on is the what I want for 2.1, as it were, and that sort of thing. And my hope is that they do. Erendor maybe makes it available. I think people got a bit confused that because they were in the game, but I think what was in the game was like a grey box, maybe just the picture floating around. And so to do full animations, I think would be, days, weeks of effort sort of thing for the artists. But I think mechanically they were probably there. So, I could imagine some world where they did. I mean, trouble is, they're a bit perfectionist, and I think they would want to do, even as a mod, to have it animated and stuff. So I think that might be the blocker. But yeah, I'd love them to put something like that in just to get, just so you could turn it off and on, So is artillery show damage of space station? Yes, it is. It looks like it, which is interesting. I thought it had been added to this as well, but clearly not. So every nest is going to take me two shells to clear. Interesting decision. Given they've bumped up the toughness of the nest, you'd think they'd put that shell damage into vanilla as well. Anyway, yes, so that's it for today. Back tomorrow with Satisfactory at the same time, where I will be struggling with whatever I'm going to be struggling with there. And plan is to continue, as I say, if I can, basically up to. I don't think I'm going on holiday again until October. I think I've got a weekend in June where I'm going to see the Formula One film with my dad, taking him out to the cinema to watch that. So that'll be a weekend away. But other than that, I think it's pretty much October is next time I'm having a holiday. So we will be streaming straight through until then. I guess I should also do my plug. So if you are watching on Twitch, you can also watch on YouTube because I use Restream to stream to both, and vice versa. If you're watching on YouTube. You can also watch on Twitch, so you have your choice of platforms. However, on YouTube, you will find all of the archived VODs for this series and loads of series of Factorio, as well as like my original Satisfactory playthrough, Tectonic, a Dyson Sphere program, loads of building and management games, as it's kind of my bag. You'll also find a whole series of videos where I did the Friday Facts read-throughs. Quite a lot of people still watch them. It's quite interesting. As well as a whole new series that I'm doing where I am speculating about the lore of Factorio. The first video in that series has gone up where I speculate about what the engineer is. Classically, one of the commenters came up with what I think is actually a better theory. You can see the pinned post on that thing. I think I prefer their theory to where I ended up. But yes, you can watch that video. It was quite a huge amount of fun to make. And so I will be continuing that series. The next video is done for members. So I have memberships available on YouTube, just like I have, subscribing on Twitch. That gets you early access to any video I make, basically. And the second video is live, where I am looking at how you shatter a planet. That's what that second video is about. However, and my first member exclusive video is that video as well, because one of my members pointed out that I had completely forgotten to take account of relativistic effects. So you can that might give you a hint about some of the stuff I'm talking about in it. So I'm going to do an edit on that video. The edited one is what will be going live. If you want to ever see that, me making a mess of the maths, you would need to become a member on my channel to see that. But yes, so that is all available on YouTube. If you want to follow me on socials, I don't use Twitter anymore. Blue Sky, you can follow me, and I post about when I'm going live and the occasional very random thought. There is a Discord. I'm not particularly active on the Discord, but it's there for those who like that sort of thing. So there we go. That's all the plug stuff. I'm going to go have some dinner, and then we'll watch Eurovision. We will see how terrible the UK song is. Cool. So if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.